Have you ever been so sure that something is true that there is no doubt about it? Like the name of the famous children's book series, the Berenstain Bears, or Darth Vader's famous line in Star Wars, "Luke, I am your father." But then, one day, you stumble across a forum, an article, or a strange video where people argue. No, not Berenstain, but Berenstain. Not Luke, I am your father. But no, I am your father. You are shocked. The world suddenly turns upside down. You are sure you remember correctly, and you are not alone. Millions of others remember as well. This is not just a personal mistake. This is a strange and haunting psychological phenomenon known as the Mandela Effect. Don't let the like button be lonely. Don't let the share button wither. And don't let the subscribe button wait for you forever. The term was coined by Fiona Broome, a paranormal researcher who was shocked to discover that Nelson Mandela, the former president of South Africa, had actually died in 2013, not in the 1980s as she and many others had fervently believed. Some even remembered his funeral on TV. Such vivid details couldn't be a coincidence. Or rather, they couldn't be just imagination. And so, the Mandela Effect was born. An effect that is more than a memory error. It's like a crack in the mirror of reality. A small window into the question, are we living in a single reality, or are there multiple parallel realities floating around? Are our memories really our own? Or are they something that has been rewritten? The Mandela Effect is one of the most fascinating and intriguing psychological, physical, and even mystical mysteries of the 21st century. It touches the deepest layers of human experience, memory, perception, belief in reality. And it opens the door to shocking theories, from the multiverse, time manipulation, collective illusion, to artificial intelligence controlling information. We will explore together from the most famous Mandela Effect phenomena to the theories behind this phenomenon, from neuroscience to quantum physics, from parallel universes to simulation theory. We will question memory, the foundation of human identity. We will question history, reality, and ourselves. Because if millions of people remember wrongly, then who is right? Classic examples of the Mandela Effect. When global memories are all wrong. Imagine waking up one morning and discovering that the things you believe to be true, the things you saw, heard, even experienced, are not as real as you remember them. Not just you, but millions of other people remember them exactly the same. The memories are collective, powerful, detailed, and confident. But they are all wrong. Welcome to the world of the Mandela Effect, where memories become a maze of reflections. No one is sure what is real anymore. Berenstain Bears versus Berenstain Bears. What's the name from another world? This is probably the most controversial and popular example. Many people grew up with the children's book series, the Berenstain Bears. They swear that the word EIN is something they definitely saw on the cover of the book during their childhood. But when they looked again, they found that all the current prints were Berenstain, with an A. A small letter, but it triggered a great deal of doubt. It was not just a spelling mistake, but a rupture in our belief in reality. Why do we all remember the same thing wrong? A mysterious theory was put forward, a branched reality, where another timeline once existed with the name Berenstain, but somehow we transported to the Berenstain version without even knowing it. Luke, I am your father, the non-existent quote. In the Star Wars universe, everyone has heard the legendary line of Darth Vader. Luke, I am your father. It's been repeated in pop culture, parodies, memes, t-shirts, commercials. But when you check the original in Star Wars, Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, the truth is, no, I am your father. There's no Luke. The line has been memorized by millions of people for decades. But how could such an important detail be so consistently wrong? Are we remembering a different version of the movie? Logos and brands. When brands change themselves. Febreze or Febreze. Remember this popular deodorant with 2 E's in breeze? Then you've fallen prey to the Mandela Effect. The correct name is Febreze, just 1 E. Many people argue that they've seen and read Febreze for years. But now, there's no evidence that version exists, other than a strange collective memory. Fruit of the Loom. the cornucopia that never existed? Many people remember the fashion brand fruit of the loom's logo as a cornucopia, a horn filled with fruit. But now, the logo is just a pile of fruit lying bare. No horn. Never was, according to official documents. Again, the image is not only popular, it is deeply attached to the childhoods of millions. But how did it disappear? Monopoly Man? No monocle? The image of the old Monopoly Man with a suit, top hat, and a monocle. Everyone remembers that. But in the official versions, Monopoly Man never wore a monocle. There is no print, no advertisement, no evidence of that detail. So why do we remember it so clearly? Some people even draw the image from memory and always add the monocle unconsciously. Some people think it might be confused with Mr. Peanut, the monocle mascot. But why is there such widespread mass confusion? Pikachu, the black tail that doesn't exist. Do you remember Pikachu, the mascot of Pokemon, having a black streak on his tail? Many fans have drawn that image, played the game, watched the cartoon, and are sure that detail exists. The truth? Pikachu never had a black tail. It was completely yellow from root to tip, with only the lightning bolt at the end of the tail being slightly brown. Once again, millions of people remembered it wrong. See, 3PO's Star Wars greeting, a strange silver leg. Did you know that C-3PO, the famous yellow robot in Star Wars, wasn't completely yellow? In the first film, A New Hope, his right leg was actually silver. Many loyal fans didn't realize this. They've seen the movie over and over again. They've owned the toys, the posters, but they've never noticed. They clearly remember C-3PO as being completely yellow. Is this little detail a glitch in reality or a subtle change? Mirror on the wall, not in the original. In Disney's Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, many people clearly remember the line, mirror on the wall. It is the fairest of them all, but the actual line in the movie is, magic mirror on the wall. This is a classic Mandela effect because not only viewers, but also dub versions, commercials, and word of mouth all use the phrase mirror. The question is, has the original really changed? Or has our reality changed? Is there an invisible hand changing collective memory? As the examples began to pile up, the Mandela effect was no longer seen as a joke or a personal hallucination. These false memories seemed like a leaky signal from another world or a technical glitch in the brain. A super simulation program. From a psychological perspective, it could be a memory displacement, a media repetition, or the influence of a habit of misremembering. But for those who have experienced the feeling of memory betrayal firsthand, that explanation is not enough. They believe this world is not what we think. Memory, a mechanism that can be easily fooled. Memory, we still believe it is an accurate storage of what we have experienced. Events, sounds, images, emotions, as if our mind were a perfect video recorder, recording everything that has ever happened. But there is a much stranger and more unacceptable truth. Memory is not a copy. It is a reconstruction. And like everything that is reconstructed, it can be distorted, influenced, and even manipulated. The brain doesn't record, it reconstructs. Modern neuroscience has proven every time you remember something, you are reconstructing that experience from fragments, not accessing an original file that is stored intact. Every memory is a mosaic of sounds, images, feelings, and contexts drawn from different parts of your brain and then put together at the moment you need to remember it. This means that every time you recall something, you may remember it wrong. And if one small detail is put together wrongly, the entire memory becomes a distorted version, but you still believe it is true. Elizabeth Loftus's false memory experiment. Dr. Elizabeth Loftus, one of the world's leading memory researchers, has conducted many shocking experiments on the vulnerability of human memory. In one famous experiment, she showed participants a video of a car accident. Loftus then asked them, "Did you see the car speed into the other car?" With just one word, smashed, the subjects exaggerated the speed of the car, remembering the glass breaking, even though the video didn't show that. Another group was asked a milder word, hit, and their memories were less intense. Just one word changed, and the memories changed. This makes us wonder, if a question can manipulate memories, what happens when media, culture, and society all work together to plant false memories? The misinformation effect memory can be hacked. This phenomenon is called the misinformation effect. If after an event, you are given false information from others, from the media, from your own memories, your brain will integrate that information into the original memory and make you believe that you remembered it. This is the basis of the Mandela Effect. Memories are reset after experiencing a social push. Collective memory. A shared dream? Memory is not just individual. Humans are social creatures, and we remember in groups. We repeat, retell, and transmit what we remember to each other from person to person. Over time, a false memory can become a collective memory. That is why so many people remember Darth Vader saying, "Luke, I am your father," even though the film does not say that. It is a line that is repeated, transmitted, remembered by the whole society, and embedded in the mind. Collective memory is not evidence of truth. It is evidence of repetition. False memories, memories that never exist. You may remember clearly that you went to a certain place as a child, met a certain person, lost a toy, but when you check again, none of it is true. Strangely enough, there are memories that are completely fabricated, and we not only believe but feel that they happened. The mind can create new memories from emotions, from stories we hear, or from dreams. And if repeated enough, they become the truth in our inner world. Now you see, if memories themselves cannot be absolutely trusted, then how do we know what is true? Could someone intentionally plant false memories? Suppose a force, the media, the government, or even AI, could repeat the same false information millions of times. Suppose they change their logo, change their voice lines, change their internet data. After a while, you would doubt your own memories. And then you would choose either trust yourself or trust the majority. In an increasingly digital world, are we living in a reality that is more susceptible to manipulation than ever? Magnifying glass tilted left conclusion. Memory is not stored truth, but truth that is reproduced every time you remember it. And if so, every memory can be changed by belief, by misinformation, or by invisible influences from the world around you. So the question is, if you can't trust your memory, what will you trust? The brain and the madness of crowds. We still think of ourselves as independent individuals, making our own decisions, thinking for ourselves, remembering for ourselves, trusting in our own minds. But if you were put in a room with a dozen people all pointing to the wrong answer, how would you react? Would you believe what you saw and heard? Or would you doubt yourself? The classic experiment on crowd conformity. In 1951, psychologist Solomon Asch conducted one of the most famous experiments on the power of social pressure. He showed volunteers 3 different lines and asked them to choose the line that matched a standard line. The correct answer was obvious, but there was a twist. All the other people in the room, except one real person, were actors, and they deliberately chose the wrong one. The result? 75% of people actually chose wrong, simply because they didn't want to be different from the crowd. The mass insanity effect when wrong becomes true. When hundreds, thousands, even millions of people believe something, even if it's completely false, it seems to become true just by virtue of the majority. There have been bizarre mass hysterias throughout history. The dancing plague of 1518 in Strasbourg. Hundreds of people danced non-stop. Some died of exhaustion. No one knew why. The Salem witch fever, when entire communities accused each other of witchcraft based on collective paranoia. Financial crises, where fear spreads more widely than truth. The human mind is not immune to social contagion. A crazy belief, if shared widely enough, can become reality. The human brain hates being different. Neuropsychology shows that our brains have a strong need to belong. Being excluded from a group, even if only in thought, causes the same biological pain as being physically hurt. Your brain can manipulate your memories just to fit the collective view. And so, the Mandela Effect may be an extreme manifestation of this psychological need. We want to remember the same, to feel like we're not out of place, not wrong, not alone. The internet, the giant frying pan that cooks the collective mind. In the past, mass madness took time and distance to spread. But in the internet age, a false belief can spread around the world in a matter of hours. You see a meme, a YouTube video, a TikTok that says the Berenstain Bear once wrote Berenstein. And you remember, not because it's true, but because it's been planted in your mind. Online communities like Reddit, 4chan, or TikTok have become collective memory reactors, where millions of people affirm something once existed and then propagate it. When belief becomes a weapon, the crowd mechanism doesn't just affect memory. It shapes beliefs, morality, and truth. Once the majority remembers something was true, then to contradict them is to oppose the world. The Mandela Effect is more than a memory game. It's a dangerous reminder that the truth doesn't always win. Sometimes, the majority decides what the truth is. 6. What happens if society gets it wrong? Imagine, one day, all evidence of an event disappears. Everyone around you insists that it never happened. Only you, one person, remembers. What will you do then? Do you trust yourself or surrender to the memory of the crowd? This is no longer a philosophical question. It is a matter of survival of truth in the digital age. Magnifying glass tilted left conclusion. Your brain is a wonderful tool, but it is more susceptible than you think, especially when faced with a crowd. The human mind craves to fit in, to be right, and is willing to distort memories to achieve that. The Mandela Effect is the clearest proof. When the crowd remembers wrongly, the real memory becomes the outcast. The most shocking Mandela Effect cases around the world. A false memory may be just a personal mistake, but when millions of people from different countries, cultures, and ages misremember the same detail, it is no longer a normal thing. It becomes a crack in reality, a sign that, perhaps, we have been living in an unstable timeline. Let's step into the dark records of the most prominent Mandela Effect cases. Phenomena that have shocked the world because they cannot be explained. 1. Nelson Mandela died in prison. The origin of it all. The name Mandela Effect comes from the first strange phenomenon. Many people from different countries are convinced that Nelson Mandela died in prison in the 1980s, and they remember the funeral scene, the speech, the news report. However, the truth is quite the opposite. Nelson Mandela was released in 1990, became president of South Africa from 1994 to 1999, and only died in 2013. So what did they remember? A false collective memory? Or a real event in an alternate reality? 2. Berenstain Bears, spelling error or factual error. Generations of Americans grew up with the children's book series, The Berenstain Bears. But here's what shocked many. They remembered that the name should be Berenstain Bears, with the letter N, not ein. Thousands of people claim to have definitely seen the word Berenstain printed in the book. Some even claim to have kept the old book with a different version of the name, but when they checked, it was all Berenstain. Is someone secretly changing every print? Or has the timeline edited something? 3. Luke, I am your father. A line that never existed. The most famous line in cinema history. Luke, I am your father. Darth Vader in Star Wars. You remember that too, right? Shocking fact. In the original episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, Darth Vader did not say that line. Instead, he said, "No, I am your father." So why do millions of people, including voice actors, gamers, cosplayers, remember it exactly wrong? 4. Monopoly Man, the disappearing monocle. The old man in the hat in the logo of the world-famous Monopoly game. Everyone clearly remembers that he was wearing a monocle. But no, Monopoly Man never wore a monocle. So what did millions of people remember? Are they misremembering a character from a parallel universe? 5. Pikachu, the color erased tail. If you're a Pokemon fan, imagine Pikachu, the cute yellow electric mouse. Now, think about its tail. Do you see the black tip? A lot of people say yes. But when you check all the official versions, Pikachu's tail has never had a black tip. It's always yellow. A global false memory, or evidence of tampering with reality. 6. Sex and the City, or Sex and the City? Simple, but deeply confusing question. The original name of the famous TV series was Sex and the City, or Sex and the City. Many swear it was Sex and the City. There's even a perfume with that name. The truth? The correct name is Sex and the City. So which timeline says in? Are we confusing two versions of the same reality? 7. We are the champions of the world. The missing ending? Queen's We Are the Champions ends with the powerful line of the world. You remember that line, right? But in the official recording, that ending doesn't exist. The line stops right before the word of the world. So why does the whole world remember it exactly like that? 8. Kit Kat. The hyphen disappears. Do you write Kit Kat or Kit Kat? You remember the hyphen, right? Wrong. Kit Kat never had a dash between the two words. The brand was originally written as one, but many people's memories add a hyphen, as if an older version existed. 9. Looney Tunes. Tunes, not tunes? If you remember the Bug Bunny cartoon series as Looney Tunes, sorry, you've just been hit by the Mandela Effect. The real name, Looney Tunes. This small difference is not only confusing, it also creates the feeling that there is some kind of time manipulation going on. 10. The mysterious disappearance of places, events, and people. The Mandela Effect doesn't just affect movies or symbols. It also erases the existence of things that were once very obvious. An island nation called New Zealand North Island once appeared in old geography books. Now there are no maps recording it. A movie called Shazam, starring comedian Sinbad, never existed. But thousands of people remember watching it as children. Some people remember that the human body had the heart on the left side, but now it's closer to the center of the chest. Are we being shifted in reality without even knowing it? Brain Conclusion, Chapter 5. The examples above can no longer be dismissed as little mistakes. They are a collection of distorted memories, repeating the same detail, same error. And the important thing is, many people remember the same. So, are our memories betraying us? Or has something changed reality that only a few people remember? Parallel universes. Have we slipped into another reality? You probably heard of parallel universes, parallel realities that exist alongside our own, where every decision, every change in life can create a different reality. But what does this have to do with the Mandela Effect? To understand this, we have to delve into one of the most fascinating theories in theoretical physics, the multidimensional universe and the theory of parallel timelines. 1. Signs of a parallel reality. We know that our universe may not be the only one. With the development of quantum physics and the theory of relativity, scientists have discovered that there may be many parallel universes or multiverses. Your reality is not the only one. Every decision you make, every change, can lead to the creation of a new reality where you chose a different path. So if we have moved to one of those parallel realities, can this explain the memory distortions of the Mandela Effect? 2. The many worlds interpretation. One of the most popular theories of parallel universes is the many worlds interpretation of quantum mechanics. This theory suggests that every decision in life can lead to a different time branch, a different reality. Imagine, every time you make a decision, such as choosing to take this path instead of that one, a new universe is created in a parallel plane where your decision is different from the choice you made in this reality. The important question is, if these parallel universes exist, could we slip into another reality without realizing it? And if so, could the false memories of the Mandela Effect be a sign that we have crossed from one reality to another? 3. Memory overlap theory. If we have indeed slipped into a parallel reality, our memories may not completely match the reality we are living in now. Imagine some moments in the past where you remember doing something, but it doesn't match your current reality. Those memories may come from another reality where you lived a different life. So people who experience the Mandela Effect may not just be remembering incorrectly, but actually remembering a memory from a parallel reality where those events or details actually happened. 4. Strange coincidences, from predictions to false memories. One of the strangest things about the Mandela Effect is how events that seem to be foreshadowed are not accurate in reality. Back to the Future scene. In Part 2, Marty McFly picks up a newspaper headline about Company X going bankrupt, and the newspaper was published many years ago. But when you look at reality, there is no such incident. This is not just a coincidence. It could be evidence of a time slip, where memories or events in a parallel reality begin to affect our memories. 5. Time warps, time holes, and reality errors. Time is not a straight line. Instead, according to the theory of time loops, it can bend and twist like a rope. This could cause us to slip through holes in time and alter the parallel realities we live in. This would explain the strange repetition of memories in the Mandela Effect. Perhaps we are living in a time loop where memories from another reality are mixed with our own. So have we experienced a rift in time, where parallel realities are mixed together? 6. Wrong events in history. There are events in history that many people cannot understand why they happen the way they did. For example, 9/11. Some people remember this event as happening differently, as if there was a change in the event across parallel realities. Technological breakthroughs. Some people claim to remember seeing more advanced technologies in the past, such as personal computers with different interfaces that do not exist in this reality. These altered events may be evidence that we have traveled through multiple parallel realities, where historical events may not have played out as we remember them. 7. Collective memory, a sign of reality warping. There is a remarkable phenomenon in neuroscience and psychology research. When a large group of people remember something incorrectly, it is not just a mistake. It may be a sign of a transition between parallel realities, where memories from one reality are scrambled as we move through another. This helps explain why the Mandela Effect can affect millions of people, all remembering the same thing. Wrong, the same events. Shooting Star Conclusion, Chapter 6. Parallel universes may be more than just a theory. Could the Mandela Effect be a sign of a reality slippage, where we accidentally slip into another world? A world where events happen differently? We're not just asking about false memories. We're asking, did we travel to another universe? The final question, are we living in a dream? Throughout our journey into the Mandela Effect, we've come across many interesting theories about parallel universes, overlapping memories, and even time loopholes. But there's one final question we can't ignore. Are we actually living in a dream? This may seem like a strange question, but let's take a moment to think about it. Is our reality as real as we perceive it to be, or is it just an illusion, a dream that never wakes up? 1. The dream of a reality. Dreams and reality have long been a controversial topic in philosophy and science. There are those who believe that our reality is not the only one. Like the dreams we have when we sleep, there may be a larger, more complex reality going on around us that we're not aware of. Philosophers like René Descartes have questioned the difference between dreams and reality. He suggested that there may be no distinction between a vivid dream and the life we experience every day. In his Meditations on First Philosophy, he famously said, "I think, therefore I am." This implies that if we can doubt everything, then our thoughts are the only certainty. So if everything around us is just a dream, could the strange events we call the Mandela Effect be a sign that we're living in an unreal world? 2. The world of small cutaways, the dream of the universe. From the multiverse to time warps, we have seen hypothetical evidence that the reality we live in may be just one part of a web of different realities, like pieces in a grand dream. There is a prominent theory in neuroscience and cognitive science that we need to consider, the dream of the universe. According to this theory, every human thought and action may be part of a collective dream, where the universe is dreaming of itself. If this reality is indeed a dream, could the false memories of the Mandela Effect be a sign of fragments in the cosmic dream, where we are accidentally awakened between layers of reality? 3. Simulation theory. Are we living in a game? One of the most controversial theories of the past few decades is the simulation theory, proposed by Nick Bostrom, a Swedish philosopher. This theory suggests that we may be living in a computer simulation created by an advanced civilization, where every experience, every event in our lives, is the product of a simulation system. If simulation theory is correct, then everything around us, from landscapes to people to memories, may be just data in a program. Could the Mandela Effect be errors in this simulation? Could false memories be failures in a grand simulation? For memories in the continuum, a notable aspect of dreams is their discontinuity. They never follow a logical sequence like reality. We often dream illogical, non-chronological events that can change abruptly. If our reality is indeed a dream, the Mandela Effect may be a sign of a disruption in the timeline or memory flow. These phenomena may not be the normal memory distortions we once thought. Instead, they may represent gaps in the cosmic dream, where events and memories do not exist in a consistent way. 5. The dream of an infinite reality, connecting to current research. While scientists and philosophers continue to debate the nature of dreams and reality, one thing is clear. The Mandela Effect opens up questions about reality change. People who experience this phenomenon not only experience memory distortions, but also feel as if they are living in a constantly changing reality. Are our dreams a reflection of a cosmic reality we do not yet understand? Is the Mandela Effect a reminder of a dream we are living in and cannot wake up from? 6. Conclusion, Chapter 7. So are we living in a dream? Whether the answer is yes or no, there is one thing we cannot deny. The Mandela Effect makes us question the nature of the reality we live in. Perhaps, like the dreams we experience every night, our reality is just a part of a larger cosmic dream. And if so, the memories and events we think are real may just be small pieces in an unexplored world. We're not just dreamers. We may be the dreams in this universe itself. With Chapter 7, we have seen deep and mysterious questions about the nature of reality and dreams. Are the false memories we call the Mandela Effect really a sign of a change in reality? And if so, who is the dreamer in this life? Paranormal phenomena, signs of awakening? If the reality we live in is really just a dream, a cosmic dream, then perhaps the paranormal phenomena we often hear about are not simply paranormal events. They may be signs of awakening, warnings that the reality around us is not what we think it is. In this chapter, we will explore paranormal phenomena that may be instructions from another world or may be manifestations of errors in the simulation system, changes in a cosmic dream. From ghosts, apparitions, strange noises to unidentified flying objects, UFOs, all of these may have a deep connection to the Mandela Effect. 1. Paranormal phenomena. Are they errors from parallel reality? Ghosts and apparitions are phenomena that humans have witnessed for a long time. Ghostly visions, unexplained noises, and moving objects can all be signs of something beyond our understanding. But are they really the spirits of the dead? Or are they just errors in a fractured reality? Looking at the Mandela Effect, we can see a connection between false memories and ghostly phenomena. Just as we have a false memory of an event, perhaps the ghosts we encounter are simply reflections of the past being repeated in a simulation of the universe, where reality never stops changing. Are ghostly phenomena the result of unstable time holes? Are these spirits trying to convey a message from the other world? Or are they simply copies of distorted memories? 2. Strange noises, holes in reality. Have you ever heard strange noises that you can't explain, like footsteps without a person in sight, steady breathing in the air, or the sound of objects moving for no reason? Such unexplained noises could be a sign of errors in the simulation of the universe, sounds coming from doors between parallel realities. There are a number of cases where people have reported strange noises related to the Mandela Effect. Incorrect predictions of events, unexpected changes in the world around them, can sound like a reflection of the reality change. Could strange noises be a sign of parallel realities intertwining? Can we perceive these distortions when we are awake? 3. UFOs, creatures from other realities? You may have heard reports of people witnessing unidentified flying objects, UFOs. These phenomena may be one of the strangest signs associated with the Mandela Effect. UFOs may be evidence that we do not live in a single reality. They may be coming from another universe or even parallel realities. There are theories that UFOs are not aliens, but rather changes in space and time. These objects can move between parallel realities, appearing and disappearing in the blink of an eye, leaving behind strange signs in space. Are the UFOs we see signs of open doors between realities? Are they showing us a world that we cannot understand while we are in this dream? 4. Supernatural signs and symbols. A prediction system? Paranormal phenomena are not limited to ghosts or UFOs. We may also be receiving signs and symbols from the universe, signals that the reality around us is changing, or even that we are being guided to awaken from a dream. Strange phenomena, such as recurring nightmares, coincidental dreams, or predictions of the future, may be signs that we are in the process of awakening, realizing that our world is not the only reality. They may be warnings, pieces of the puzzle that are slowly revealing to us the secrets of the cosmic dream. Are supernatural symbols a predictive system that helps us become aware of our awakening? Are these signs warning us of a change in reality? 5. Conclusion Chapter 8. So, are paranormal phenomena really signs of an awakening? Whether they are signs from parallel realities, errors in cosmic simulations, or symbols of a grand dream, we cannot deny that these phenomena make us ponder the true nature of the world around us. Scientific and paranormal evidence explaining the Mandela Effect. So, is there a scientific or paranormal theory that can explain the strange phenomenon we call the Mandela Effect? After the parallel universe theories, cosmic dreams, and supernatural phenomena that we have explored, it is time for us to face the scientific and paranormal evidence that can provide a clearer view of what is happening to the world and our memories. We will look at recent scientific research on memory systems, simulation theory, cognitive phenomena, and even paranormal aspects such as time loops, to explore whether there can be a reasonable explanation for this phenomenon. 1. The scientific view of memory. Can our memories be changed? Memories are an important part of defining the reality we live in. However, science has shown that human memories are not an exact copy of events that have happened, but can change over time. Some research in the fields of psychology and neuroscience suggests that our memory systems can change when we are exposed to new information, even without our awareness. The Mandela Effect may be a manifestation of this phenomenon, where memories of a past event are altered by false information or influences from sources beyond our control. Are the false memories in the Mandela Effect the result of a change in the way the brain processes memories? Could our memories not be an exact copy of reality? 2. Simulation theory. Is reality a computer program? Simulation theory suggests that we may be living in a computer simulation, and everything around us, from past events to our memories, may simply be programmed data. According to this theory, any changes in reality, including false memories, may be a bug in the simulation. One of the most important theories in modern computer science and philosophy is Nick Bostrom's simulation theory. He argues that if an advanced civilization can create a complex simulation of the universe, then it is possible that we are living in such a simulation. If the Mandela Effect is a real phenomenon, it may be a bug in the simulation, where our memories are altered when the system malfunctions or is manipulated by changes in the code. Is the Mandela Effect a sign of a change in the simulation we are living in? Could our memories be altered as part of a system to adjust or update our simulation of the universe? 3. The concept of parallel realities. Is there another reality overriding? One of the most popular theories about the Mandela Effect is the parallel reality theory, which suggests that our universe is not the only one, but rather one of many parallel universes. When a person experiences the Mandela Effect, they may have entered a parallel reality where their memories from the old universe do not quite match the new universe they are living in. This could explain why there are events that many people have experienced that have conflicting memories of, such as historical events, brand names, or famous images. In this theory, we may be living in multiple realities without even knowing it. Could the Mandela Effect be the result of events that occur in parallel realities? Could we be accidentally moving between universes without realizing we are changing? For cognitive studies, why do we perceive changes? One of the most important questions in explaining the Mandela Effect is why do we perceive these changes? According to cognitive studies, human perception is not always accurate, and we may see changes in the world around us slowly and indistinctly. According to the cognitive response theory, when we encounter major changes in our environment, our brains automatically try to piece together data to understand and explain the change. This may be why people who experience the Mandela Effect feel like they're living in a world of constant change, where memories and events may blur or change without rational explanation. Why do we perceive changes in memories and events if they're actually part of an altered cognitive system? 5. Time loops and paranormal phenomena. Finally, it is possible that the Mandela Effect has something to do with paranormal phenomena and time loops. Some researchers have suggested that if time can be warped, as Einstein theorized, then perhaps our false memories are a result of time being warped out rifts. This means that the Mandela Effect may be a phenomenon of disconnected time connections, where past events do not quite match what we remember. Events may be altered or interrupted in time gaps, creating ambiguity in our memories and perceptions. Could time gaps be the main cause of our altered memories? Is the Mandela Effect a sign of changes in the cosmic timeline that we cannot yet explain? 6. Conclusion of Chapter 9. Whether it is changes in memory systems, errors in simulations, parallel realities, or time gaps, we cannot deny that the Mandela Effect is a strange and mysterious phenomenon. From scientific evidence to mystical theories, we still do not have a definitive answer about its origin. Predicting the future, could the Mandela Effect go further? As phenomena like the Mandela Effect continue to appear and dominate the minds of many, we can't help but wonder if it could continue to grow and become stronger in the future. Changes in memories, altered events, and strange experiences that people share, could they lead to a larger shift in how we understand the world around us? The scientific and mystical theories we've explored all point to one important question. Are we witnessing the beginning of a profound change in our universe and reality? In this chapter, we'll explore what the Mandela Effect predicts for the future, explore the changes that could occur, and ask ourselves if these events could spur a major shift in humanity. 1. The Mandela Effect. Part of the evolution of human consciousness? One of the more intriguing theories about the Mandela Effect is that it is not a temporary quirk, but rather part of the evolution of human cognition. As we learn about changes in memory and reality, could it be that humans are experiencing a cognitive awakening, a turning point in the development of our intelligence and cognitive abilities? According to cognitive scientists, human cognition can change over time, and perhaps the Mandela Effect is just a sign of that shift. As our cognition begins to break free of its old limitations, we may begin to perceive and understand the world in ways we have never before experienced. It is a fascinating and mysterious concept. Are we approaching a new era where cognitive shifts become a norm? Is the Mandela Effect just a reflection of a shift in human cognition? Are we entering a period where reality can be altered by our collective consciousness? 2. The future of parallel realities. Will other